If you go to my Instagram and go back as far as 2016, you may find a video of me playing Bernadette by the Four Tops. I do believe, however, that I am playing this incorrectly. I've since discovered a technique used by James Jamerson, the bass player on that track, which I believe he's using on this particular performance. James Jamerson is one of my biggest influences, and I could talk about him for hours, about his history and his musical approach to creating bass lines, but today I'm just going to focus on one of his idiosyncrasies. I'm not aware of any other bass players using this technique as frequently as he did. I discovered it after reading this book, Standing in the Shadows of Motown. Oh, and by the way, if you're serious about learning to play bass, this book must be purchased. So this book was published in 1989, and I believe that at the time there wasn't a whole lot of information about James Jamerson out there. As you can see, this book has been well used by me. It contains information about the history of James Jamerson, Motown, and the Funk Brothers, who were the session musicians that played for Motown. This book contains transcriptions and performances by a who's who of bass players. It has to be said, my favourite part of this book is a section written by Anthony Jackson. He talks a lot about Jamerson's unique and sophisticated approach to writing bass lines, so I started to notice these strange symbols throughout the book. I later found out that these symbols represent the use of open strings in place of the 5th fret. For example, if you played the 5th fret on the D string, you'd produce a G. You can get the same note by playing the open G string. And this leads us to Bernadette. On the first bar of the chorus we hear the E flat major arpeggio, which is made up of E flat, G and B flat. Here is the common shape for that arpeggio. Jamerson plays this at high speed, which makes it quite tricky to play with any degree of fluidity. But if we take this G and place it on the open string, you'll find that this becomes much easier to play with this rake technique. We know Jamerson used the rake technique as he's famous for using one finger to play the strings. Try playing it both ways and you can hear the difference. So as you can see, there's an opportunity to use the open strings again, here and here. The whole section sounds like this. Let's compare that to if we play it without the open strings. So this is one of the main reasons that nobody else sounds like James Jamerson. So if you're ever trying to learn one of his lines and you just can't get it to sound right, see if there's an opportunity to use an open string, as I usually find that this is the answer. See you next time.